This is the plaintiff, James Friend, Jr. He says the defendant repossessed his boat and took his trailer, sold it, and won't give him the money. He filed a criminal theft complaint with the cops and is now suing him here today in civil court for his $1,200. This is the defendant, David Rosenblatt. He says he's been in the repo business and says he's seen it all, almost. This plaintiff is crazy. The boat was on the trailer. The guy told him to take it because he had no use for it. And now, more than 2 years later, he's suing him for it? He's barking up the wrong tree because if he wants a fight he will have. He's accused of taking more than he should. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,000 for storage fees.
James Friend, you are suing David Rosenblatt for $1,200. The value of a boat trailer that you say he took, never sold, and never returned to you. You are counterclaiming against him $3,000 in storage fees for that same trailer that he just wants you to give back for the course of the last how many years?
Almost 2 years.
2 years. All right, what happened here?
Back in the latter end of '07, I purchased the boat with a motor and a trailer. They financed the boat and the motor for me, but they wouldn't extend me enough credit to get the trailer, so I bought that out of cash. I had to file for Chapter 13. The gentleman came and repossessed one of my vehicles.
Who's the gentleman?
Mr. Rosenblatt.
Okay, and on behalf of whom, though? Who were you working for?
A&S Recovery, Honda Finance.
Okay, so it was financed by Honda.
Yes.
Okay, and they farmed it out to A&S Recovery. You're an employee of theirs, or they farmed it out to you?
Then they farmed it out to me.
Okay, so go ahead.
So back in...
How far behind were you?
4 months.
Okay.
So when I filed for Chapter 13, Mr. Rosenblatt came with A&S that he was employed with to repossess the one vehicle.
Now, repossess the boat?
No, he came prior to the boat. He
repossessed. He's just repossessing all kinds of things at your house?
Pretty much. I forfeited on my own, knowing I couldn't afford it. I signed it when I did my Chapter 13. They came and he picked up one of the vehicles. Then he came back and picked up another vehicle. And then I was
but this is more like a surrender than
I voluntarily
like in other words, it's not like you're sleeping and all of a sudden you hear a noise outside and you run out and you had no idea they were taking it. It was arranged to surrender it. Okay.
So on October the 22nd, he had came to pick up the boat, which my attorney told me he was going to come. I said, that's fine. I have no problem with it. He came. He said, I advised him that the boat and the motor was financed through Honda Finance. The trailer was not. So he said, how am I supposed to take your boat? I said, well, really, it's not my problem. But he was compliant. I was compliant for the first two vehicles.
Compliant would be, if anybody was thinking here, okay, with the full brain, what you guys would have done was made an arrangement for you to keep your trailer and for there to be a way to transfer it, whether it's taken into the water, which would make sense, and then you take it out with your own darn trailer, and then that's how it's done. But what happened instead was nobody thinks about it until you're at the moment. All right, so now he shows up. It's on your trailer.
It's on my trailer. I made him aware of it. So he had suggested that he was going to be taking the boat wherever they take it to auction it off. If I didn't have a need for a trailer, which I wouldn't at that point, that he would try to sell it. He asked me for the certificate of title, which is the certificate of ownership, because the trailer doesn't have a title. I told him I did not know where that was. He's already hooking it up to his tow truck. So I'm like, he goes, I'm going to take it. I'll take it to the auction. I'll try to sell it for you. Either way, I'm going to get back to you. I waited patiently. Months went by. I figured it was a wash. I don't have the trailer. I'm not going to fight the fact I defaulted on my loan, so I wasn't really concerned too much about it. Then in June, he swung by my residence, left me his business card, and said, I have a buyer for your trailer. Give me a call. I call him. The dialogue between him and I for almost 2 months on the phone was excuses, excuses, excuses. He said he surrendered the plates for the trailer because when I went to motor vehicle, they said that I had to have the plate number in order to process the paperwork, which was a notarized letter from motor vehicles, that he would have to have the same thing. We both had them signed.
Wait, I lost you. Where's the title? Didn't you just have it?
I could not locate my certificate of ownership.
Oh, okay. So you lost something. There's a surprise.
Yeah.
Because you're a detail guy. All right, so you lost something, all right, and so when you were trying to duplicate it in order to go ahead and take advantage of the buyer, to go ahead and bring that sale to fruition, you have to apply for something that requires you to have the plates.
Yes,
and then you find out from him that he's done what with the plates?
He said he surrendered my plates. Well, I didn't understand why he would have done that on my part, but
Yeah, how does he surrender your
that's
place?
exactly.
Okay.
So when I went back to motor vehicle and said the gentleman surrendered my plates, he goes, all right, well, then give me the VIN number off the trailer. So I got a hold of Mr. Rosenblatt again via phone, text messaging, back and forth that I needed the VIN number. He says to me he works 21 hours a day repoing vehicles, that he's tired, it's dark at night. I waited a week. I called him again.
But where's the thing being held?
He wouldn't tell me. He
So
wouldn't
he
tell
has
me
to
anything.
travel to where it is to
Wherever
check
it may-
out what
I
the
still
VIN
don't know
number is,
where
and he
it is.
doesn't have time to do it?
So at that point, I said, look, I don't even want to sell it. He said he had a buyer for it that's been nagging him to buy it off him, and he was going to offer me $700 for the trailer.
How much did you pay for it?
I paid $1,500.
How long before that?
I'm sorry?
The 3 years before?
When I purchased it new,
Yep.
it was $1,500, and I had it for, I guess, approximately 6 months, and then it got taken when it was repossessed.
So go on.
So I went to Motor Vehicles, and I told them, I said, this is the situation. They ran a history on my what I paid taxes for and so forth. They gave me the plate number and the VIN number. I took the information that I had, went to the police department, and had the police department file the complaint that I made. And they tried calling him on the phone. I'm standing there, and in the conversation with the officer on the phone, he says, I don't have any idea what he's talking about.
Nothing ever happens with the police.
No,
Right.
he filed the complaint.
Mr. Rosenblatt, what's going on?
So who has ever owned a boat here? Are boats just stupid because they're too expensive?
Not at all. They're great fun.
They're no doubt great fun, but they're just a money pit.
No, they're really not. They're really not. It's all worth it, though.
It's all just rumor. Okay, what do you think? I mean, are boats something you want to invest in?
I've heard that boats take a lot of money, so I don't think that I would. If I had the money and I enjoy being out on a boat, then I would definitely do it.
They say the two happiest days of a boat owner's life are the day that the boat owner buys the boat and the day that he sells the boat. Going inside the courtroom.
I went to repossess a boat in Little Egg Harbor. I went there. The boat was on the grass. He told me that the trailer was his. I said, what do you want me to do with it? You know,
Why
right
couldn't
now?
you just take the boat and then bring the trailer back to him?
Because I said, what do you want me to do with the trailer? Do you want me to bring the trailer back down to you? Okay? He goes, no, I really don't have a use for the trailer. He goes, I thought maybe I might be able to get like $500 for it. I don't know. But if you can't get nothing for it at all, he goes, just keep it because I don't have a use for it. So I deliver the boat. I bring the trailer back to my yard. I leave it there. It's a year and a half, almost 2 years later. Somebody tells me they want to buy the trailer. I go to him to go get the title. And this is where it's, he told me he didn't have a title.
Wait, are you saying that you agreed to sell it for him?
No, I didn't agree to sell it. He told me he did not want it if there was nobody that would buy it.
Well, then why did you say, oh, well, if you don't want it, just give me the title now? Why didn't you just do that?
Because he said he didn't know where it was then.
Well, then
Same
why are
as-
you calling him 2 years later to ask him for the title if he doesn't know
Because
where
he
it is
said
now?
he'd be able to find it.
So you
If you
get a
wanted-
buyer, and then you go back to him a year and a half later and say, remember me? Is your place tidied up now? Have you
No,
found the title?
I asked him if he had found the title. He said no. We went back and forth a few times. If he wanted the trailer back, the same way he contacted Honda Finance now, he contacted Honda Finance. They contacted A&S. A&S contacted me. I said, yes, I do have the trailer. And in other words, he said he wanted it back. Now, through
Why
Honda
didn't you just give it back then?
Because you got to pay storage if you didn't come pick it up within 10 days.
What are you talking about? It wasn't stored at your place within 10 days. It was never stored at your place.
Yes, it was. It's
No,
been
it
stored.
wasn't. You just described a situation where you were storing it for yourself. Then you find out a year and a half later that there was some misunderstanding. He didn't want you to keep it. He wanted you to sell it. You're saying I never agreed to sell.
Never.
Only two things can be true. You
Yep.
agreed to sell it, or he gave it to you.
He
You're
gave it-
saying, Judge, he gave it to me that day. If he gave it to you, why would he have to pay you storage? It's yours.
Didn't.
You don't have a storage contract. You don't get storage where you don't have a storage contract. You can't impose a storage contract after the fact. You're not a mechanic who a guy knows that he gave it to you to fix. Then you do your job, but he doesn't want to pay you. Then you have this dispute so you can put a lien on it. That's not who you are. You're a repo guy who went over there, borrowed his item to repo your thing so that you could get
No.
your payment for repo.
No.
It's not your trailer. It was never your trailer.
No.
Okay? The only way that it could ever be your trailer is if he gave it to you. And if he gave it to you, then he doesn't have to pay you storage. He's telling me, Judge, I didn't give it to him. He didn't have a title to it. He called me for the title when he wanted to sell it. So if you're calling him, what was in it for him to find that title and give it to you? What did you guys discuss?
There's nothing. He just told me I could have the title. So, in other words,
He wasn't going to see any money out of your sale of his thing?
No.
What, did you offer him a cut?
If you wanted me to deliver back the trailer, even when it
No.
was...
Did you offer him a cut of the sale?
Yes, I did.
How much? Of course you did.
I told him I'd give him half.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Which, you know, I know you didn't want to. I know it's like pulling teeth right now to get that from you because you're worried how it'll affect your case. But the fact that you're offering him money at the time that you finally find a buyer says to me that what really happened there is that since neither one of you are much planners, you just figure, okay, we got a problem. We got a trailer here. How are we going to go? You want? I don't have a use for it. Can you sell it for me? Yeah, well, I can sell it. I can try to sell it for you. We'll see. All right, I'll tell you what. Why don't you try to sell it for me? Let's see what I can get. Then he doesn't call you back. Then you got 1,000 other problems because you got no boat. You got no nothing now. You got to worry about all your other little problems there. So you can't. You're basically drowning in your own stuff. And so you never bother to call. You figure it's a wash. But then all of a sudden, a year and a half later, he pops up because he needs you because you never really gave it to him. So he can't sell it unless he contacts you and gets appropriate paperwork. That's why you're being offered money, because it's the only way it could happen. Because you were always expecting to make money if there was going to be a sale of the item. Everywhere we go on this, either way, okay, at the end of the day, when the police call you, how do you tell the police you don't know what he's talking about?
Well, I didn't tell him I know what he was talking about.
What'd you tell the police?
I told him, I said, I have the trailer, and he owes me storage on the trailer if he wants it back.
All right. He doesn't owe storage. On your countersuit against him, 0. How much were you supposed to make off the sale? When he called you, he already admitted that he offered you money. How much money?
Yes, he said he had a buyer that was offering $700 for the trailer.
For what's in it for you?
$700.
Oh, you expected to get the whole $700. And he's not going to get any of it?
That's what he said. The gentleman was offering me $700 for the trailer.
Seriously, you're both just full of baloney. I'm going to find in favor of the plaintiff for what I estimate the value of that trailer to be. I'm going to order the defendant to pay $500 to the plaintiff. Good luck selling it without a title. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know what you're going to do with it.
Well, it looks like the defendant has just bought himself a trailer. Here, come on right over here, okay? And tell me what your feeling is on the outcome of the case this way.
I think that she doesn't have the facts on repossession law, and what it is, what it is.
What are you going to do with the trailer?
What? I'll cut it up and junk it.
Is that what you plan to do with it now?
That's it. It's junk. It's worth scrap weight. It got awarded to me as scrap weight.
Okay. All right, Repo folks, head right around the corner there. And let's see what the plaintiff has to say about the outcome of this case. Come on in here, so. What are you thinking?
I guess I'm going to have to be happy I got something out of it after I put $1,500 into it.
Well, yeah. I mean, the best you were going to get was $700. You were going to be happy with that, right?
Initially, I was, and then when I thought about it, I'm like, you know, wait a minute, this guy sold it. He's probably just going to keep the money anyway. So I would have gotten $1,200. I would have been happy because I paid $15.
Well, you got 5.
I'm happy with that.
What do you think, Harvey?
So this is a really good example that when you have legal rights, the longer you wait, the more you compromise them. If you sit on your hands, nothing good ever comes of it. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.